Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan,
Your Fish and Marillion podcast.
where we talk about all things in the planet of Marillion and fish. I'm Meza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Marzipan. I'm Meza, I'm here with my good friend,
Big.
and as you can see, it's one of our Planet Marzipan Meets episodes, and we welcome to the podcast, we welcome Aziz Ibrahim.
How are you doing?
Gesturing. We're audio only, Aziz, but thank you.
Oh, now
Welcome.
you tell me you're audio.
Yeah, you've had a bath and everything, haven't you? You can see, yeah.
Every day. I don't know about you, mate.
Once a month if you're lucky.
Me.
Yeah.
Me every day.
He's from Yorkshire, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Look good first, smell good second, play well third. That's our motto.
Well, welcome, Aziz. And we also have Dalbir Singh Rattan with us. Hi, Dal.
Oh, thank you. Big
Nice.
love.
Nice to see you,
Nice
both.
to see you as well and be a part of it, man, with the Marillion family
Oh, yes. Well, are you getting used to that
once
now?
again. Yeah. Well, you know what they say about family. You know, it's on. There's a limit to it, isn't it? You know, it lasts a while. But no, absolute a pleasure to be with you guys.
Okay.
Honestly.
Well, you're here because we're massive respect for you both as musicians, and we've seen you both play with the H band. Do you mind if we start off talking about the H band and then kind of go on to some of the projects, if that's all right?
Also, yeah, sure. Aziz.
Whatever
Aziz,
you want. Whatever you want. Yeah.
Aziz, you
This
were
is
involved.
your night, bro. This is your night, bro.
How did
Off
you
you-
get involved with the H band, Aziz? You joined in '97, didn't you?
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, I wasn't sure it was 98 or 97. It was just kind of in the middle of it was the end of the Stone Roses era, just prior to that, and the beginning of Ian Brown's solo career. So I just remember, I've got a really good friend called Phil Beaumont, who ran Forge Studios in Oswestry. And he was a pro audio dealer. But Phil's one of my best mates, and we both know him well. And I used to go over there anyway, just regularly, because we play in the same band. A fun band called Total Chaos. We play, any songs we feel like. It's great, to do outside of that kind of, the music business, shall we say. And I was over one particular day, and lo and behold, there was a little letter H walking around in Oswestry. This little letter H, just walking along. It was, yeah, like that, a bit like Sesame Street, little H walking along. I know you can't see it, but you can see it. I know, it's only audio. But we met through our mutual friend Phil Beaumont in Oswestry, and it's a place where, I remember we played our first H band gig was in Oswestry. The warm up was in Oswestry with the original lineup, obviously the late Clem Burke and Chucho Meschan, Stephanie Sober Jones, Richard Barbieri, H, myself, and David Gregory, the maestro David Gregory, in this incredible lineup beginning, and that first show was in Oswestry. But it was just strange that's where we actually met and talked about music, and found that we had nothing in common and grew to be really good friends.
Well, we saw the Garage gig out of that first run. It was an incredible night, but Clem didn't outfit those drums, and he really, really powerful drummer.
What a great, character. I'm not just character, sorry, just He's just a superb musician for one, but secondly, such an identifiable drummer, charismatic is the word I was looking for. I mean, that's kind of era for me. It was a great opportunity, to meet these guys from um, historic bands out of the British music industry and America, obviously, um, and you know, to be in the same band, relax and play, um, learn about each other. Well, I don't know if they learned anything about me, but I certainly learned something about them. But I was there because, H liked what he heard and my playing wise, maybe not what came out of my gob, but certainly, yeah, the playing wise, and was there because the album was already recorded when I met.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was checking the credits. You're not on the album, are you? Not on Ice Cream Genius.
No, not allowed. Visa denied. Visa denied.
But you are on the reissue that's coming out very shortly.
Yeah, well, me and Dal are on the main one, which is Live Spirit, Live Body.
Yeah. Which was recorded at Dingwalls, wasn't it? Great couple of numbers.
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, you're going to find that you're going to have to remind me a lot of the times.
That's absolutely fine.
Where's and wants.
You've a lot of musical between you. You've a lot of different musical adventures.
I've got a great picture of your cat's ass, Craig.
Every time.
It's really wonderful. That's really
it's a birthday to me as well. So,
Looking at the anus of your cat on your screen.
That's the highlight of the evening.
You're right to do the audio because this audience would be, I don't know, they'd probably be amused, but might be some who may be offended. I show you my bottom.
She's a little pest.
On a lighter note, the news. Okay.
Did you get any input into the set list that you were playing at that time, or was it all chosen by age?
No. We were all together. As soon as this band came together, there was a lot of egos. So there's bound to be, discussion. No, H has always been fair. He's never been that kind of person because it's his solo projects. Do it my way. The whole point was he somehow managed to put together such an eclectic bunch of musicians, artists, that the meeting and the conversations just made instant decisions. There were, I was amongst genius, there, and talent and beautiful souls as well. We just, if somebody would say something, we'd just go with it or discuss it or not. We'd just go with it because we trusted each other. There was a lot of trust in the group. Yeah, no, there wasn't any need for, if H made a decision, it was fine. It wasn't like he had to decide. He felt like he had to decide every time. There were not enough cooks, I suppose, to make things move. And all I'm saying is that we would move forward at a heck of a pace because of the talent and the kind of mutual respect that was there.
And you did do a couple of your tracks over the years, didn't you? I think you did Zen and Now and Middle Road as well, didn't you? I think.
Yeah, they only came into it, I think, when Dal came on the scene. Really, it kind of made sense because Dal and I had been playing. Well, actually, Dal and I playing started later, didn't it? Dal in 2000, 99.
Yeah, after the Scala gig. Do you remember? We played Scala after we came back from South Africa.
So we started in South Africa. We met at WOMAD, the WOMAD festival in South Africa, and then
Cape Town, yeah.
And I looked at this guy on the stage. We weren't playing together, and I thought, what a big head. No, I just talent blew me away straight away, and I thought, I envy that guy. He's got all the talent. He's got the looks. What else does he want, eh? And the two songs. I don't know how they actually got chosen, to tell you the truth, because I didn't offer them. I don't think, but I think it was just that H kind of knew the music that I'd written. Because obviously those songs were written for, well, Zen and Now wasn't actually written for the album at the time, which was Lahore to Longsight, but it was written for Rush on Rock, which was, I met Dal, I needed to reshape the album into this, as Paul Weller described it, the white stripes from Bombay. So
good description.
Yeah, when we did that, yeah, Zen and Now came into play on that, so it's exclusive to that album. And Middle Road is originally the EP, and also on Lahore to Longsight in its birth from like 98, 99, and then released in 99. So it kind of, that song came about after I met H and the first incarnation of the H band, and I was working on my solo career as I was writing for Ian Brown, and then met Dal in 99, 2000, and then it's been downhill ever since.
Devolve. So Dal, did this reprobate drag you into the H band then?
Oh yeah, you know, he converted me out of Indian classical beautiful into a right mess. Chaos.
He corrupted you.
Oh yeah, no, it was a real turning point that in my life, to be honest. I remember it really well because we went out, like we were saying, I met Az in 99 and we went out to South Africa. I mean, it came out of nowhere for me, you know. You know, it's like not, you know, you got a gig in, you know, Derby, you got a gig in Leicester or in Oxford. No, you got a gig in Cape Town. And that's, you know, I don't think I had a passport, it had expired. So I had to go and get that sorted. But then I met Aziz there, and we were amongst this amazing collective called Swaraj. That was like an East London, Brick Lane, Asian underground, you know, that Talvin Singh era.
All right, yeah.
So, you know, that kind of time where drum and bass was being amalgamated and taken intertwined with Indian classical vocals and tablas and sounds, etc. You know what I mean? So that was that time, but that was before really, you know, and that was happening there. But I was living in Birmingham and working for this like a magazine called What's On UK, and I was supposed to sell page spaces for adverts, and I didn't sell anything. You know, I was really bad. You know, it was really shit. And the guy that ran it, his name was Sam. He said to me, "What do you do?" I said, "Look, man, you know, give me a chance to maybe just listen to some tunes. I'll write reviews. You know, you don't have to pay me anything for it, etc." But and then I was the cut long story short, the Swaraj sent a little EP in, you know, a sample disc CD, and I listened to it and I thought, oh, this is brilliant, man. And you know, listened to it, and I was speaking to Ash Condola, who runs it, and I said to him, I said, "Oh, I'm going to review it," and we were chatting. He goes, "Oh, we're looking for a tabla player." I said, "I play tablas." You know, I played the tabla. I'm learning as well. Ash goes, "Great." He goes, "We're flying out." I can't remember the date now, but he goes, "It was pretty quick. You know, it was like in the next 10 days for WOMAD." And that's where I met Az as well. So Jutla was on it, an amazing producer, you know, print work artist, you know, based in Wolverhampton, Ash, and there was Az and myself, and that's where I met Az. And then when I came back after that South Africa trip, the first gig was at the Scala, and it was supporting Marillion. I didn't know any of Az's tunes. I had no idea what it was a right mess, man. You know, that gig. And
we were there. We were there.
We were there.
You were probably
well,
there.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll be honest, it was a right mess, man. I had no idea, you know, what he was doing. Yeah, well, we're good blaggers. We're good blaggers, man.
Speak for yourself, mate. I was on form. I don't know about you.
Yeah. My issue was parking my car in King's Cross. Okay, what a ball ache. But anyway, that gig, and then I met then I met H. Then I met Richard. I met Dave Gregory there. You know, and I didn't know Marillion. That's not my world, you know. My world was Indian classical music, you know, and you know, and maybe like the indie bands, but I wasn't into prog rock music, man. You know, it wasn't my scene. I was into like Dr. Dre and Snoop and, you know, Tupac and Biggie, and I loved the hip hop, and I used to listen to Indian classical music and stuff like that. So when I got Marillion, I was like, it was Marillion. I never heard of them. And then I learned very quickly that they were a very, very big band. But after that, that was the start of something amazing, man. You know, H gave me so much love. I love H. You know, he's a very, very close friend of ours.
Yeah.
He's like a brother to me, an older brother. You know, when somebody just thinks of you and sends you a message, sending you love, Dal, you know, and you haven't spoken or you haven't done anything since the H band, since that Dingwalls gig and that spirit. And, you know, we toured all over Europe, and I was learning with, like Aziz said, with the greats, man. They are absolute luthiers at work, you know, and to bring those people in. I remember actually at the rehearsal, we were rehearsing in London. I think I can't remember where it was exactly. Alice might remember, but I remember I was waiting around a lot and I yawned, or I sighed kind of loud. And Steve looked at me and Steve goes, "Are you all right, Del?" I said, yeah, I'm fine. and then I never forgot that, because this guy was always on point. He never ever stopped. You know, he was there first. He's absolutely professional at his work. You know, top. I was learning. I was thinking, this guy is the best in you know in his field and his work. So I learned so much from, and including Aziz as well. I would never have made that connection if it wasn't for Az.
Yeah.
So Aziz is my catalyst into these bands, to be very honest with you. You know, after working with us of 25, 26, 30, whatever it is, you know, he's been the catalyst into bringing me into a field. And he's always said to me, he goes, "Dal, you know what, you're an Indian classical musician, but your tablas are bigger than you think. When you go into this world, it's another world." And it was another world, working with Andy Gangadine.
Yeah.
One of the greatest drummers, you know. Jingles, you know, amazing. The bands he produced, you know, and like I mentioned before I joined, you know, Clem Burke, the loudest drummer in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I'm among sight people. I'm like, yeah, and Dalbir Singh, fucking put my name right there.
Yeah, but you and Aziz, you're both flamboyant players live. You know,
We love what we do.
You've got some sort of showmanship, haven't you?
We do. And then we did the Arc Light as well.
Yeah.
You know, the EP, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know what happened to that, but I thought that was a great piece. Those 5 tracks, Elaine is a beautiful piece of music. I've always told H that. I said, "Hey, Steve, that is one of the most beautiful songs, you know, that I've ever heard."
We interviewed him and Richard about 2-3 months ago about that stuff, and we talked about Elaine, you know, about it being a absolutely heartrending lyric.
We recorded Oil. You know, in Shropshire, in West Felton. I remember doing that. Yeah, like in Oswestry that way.
Yeah.
So great times. You know, I learned so much. I just did what they said, and I'm blessed. It's a gratitude and the whole band, and touring with Marillion as well.
You are, mate. Yeah, I mean,
Steve,
that's
everybody in the band. You know, they are just the most humble, most beautiful people to be around. Honestly. And with the band, we're part of the family. You know, we're the extended family.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the 2 Asian guys. You know, we're there, man. We're the family. We're the uncles, Uncle G's and Auntie G's.
The rapscallion cousins is what it is.
Oh, mate, come on, man. We're bringing the samosas, man. You know, forget your pastries. Yeah, no, it's been amazing, and I saw Steve a couple of weeks ago actually in Birmingham, and you know, we had a great day together. You know, lovely. You know, I caught up, and all the work he's been doing as well. The solo stuff. He gave me a beautiful vinyl, you know, and we celebrated together because he's just working. That's his ethic, you know. And yeah, it was really lovely to have that, and you know, and he paid for the meal, so that was nice.
Oh, it's always a bonus, isn't it? Yeah, free lunch.
Let the boss pay.
Aziz, you've just put out Lahore to Longsight on vinyl, haven't you? You just re-released it for Record Store Day.
It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Yeah. It has been. It's been 25 years, 26,
Asian timing, isn't it, though, bro?
26 years. Yeah. I mean, it should have been out a long time ago. I mean, there's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas. You know, I should still be probably, and probably I wouldn't have lasted, but I should still be playing with Stephen Wilson. But that, you know, it just shit happens in this world.
And he changes his guitarist like underwear, so you know.
No, it wasn't that at all. It had nothing to do with him changing his guitarist.
Did he not? Oh, sorry.
No, it didn't have anything to do with that at all. So it's world events that affect my performances,
Right.
whether I'm playing or not. My album wasn't released in 2000 because of 9/11 and the backlash from 9/11 and the anti-Muslim feeling in the world. And everything just went to pot, really. Everything that I put together, which was the rhythm section of the Smiths, the vinyl, well, the album that was ready to go. We were doing the Enemy Brats. We had a US tour booked. We were already doing warm-up shows in the UK. And when 9/11 hit, all the label interest went. The US tour got cancelled. Everybody lost heart and then went their own way. Came to 2011 with Stephen Wilson, and I got my first visa refusal, you know, for the US right in the middle of the Grace for Drowning World Tour.
Yeah.
And of course, business is business, and the band had to leave me, you know, on the tarmac. And even though the visa came through, it was too late for people who'd already made up their mind that they had to make plans and had got in whoever that was next, but nothing to do with Steve Wilson's a good guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
It's not like that. And anyway, people have to make decisions according to what their business is. You know, if everything depends upon the motion of that album, then you have to make cold, hard decisions. And as much as I might feel that there's no, my train of thought is different, right? In the sense that I'm not a session player. So therefore, I don't look at things as like, what's the next piece of work and who's going to hire me now? I look at it in terms of camaraderie, and I look at it in terms of who's got your back. And that includes the H band. I never looked at the H band as session players or, you know, one particular person owned it. We were a band and still are a band. And I still stick up for the people in that band. And if anybody says anything bad about them, they'll have me to deal with as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, that's all I'm saying is that my attitude has always been that loyalties, respect, trust, they're important words to me. And a band is, maybe people don't always see that, but that's what a band means to me. It's very difficult I mean, to be honest, even that role, coming back to that, I don't really want to talk too much about the Stephen Wilson saga, but it is prog, you know, so, and it is true prog. That time, yeah, I just...
Did you play, because I'm sure I saw UK days. Did you?
We only did one UK date, which was Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah, I was there. I saw you doing that.
Right, so that was the first, and then we were supposed to fly to the US and to Canada, to do obviously the Americas, and then it would have followed. Well, you know the history anyway, what came after that, and then so forth, and then.
I'm sorry, I do remember at the time that happening, so apologies for forgetting it.
No, that's okay. Everything, like I mean, as Dal knows and I know, that, you know, we're not just talking music in this industry and this world, that politics, you know, world events, the things that go on in this world that sicken us, and they have an effect on people who are just trying to play music and get on with their lives, have a good time, play with friends. And it had a profound effects on me way back in, you know, 2000, and because my album was never released. So I remember Paul Weller saying, you know, about fucking time, 25 years. But I'm like, you know, I just thought, Yeah, it's easy for you to say, but my life's not that simple. It's not that easy. All I want to do is play six strings, but every time I'm trying to do that, somebody comes along and says, "Sorry, you're not white enough, or you're not this enough, or you're not that enough."
I mean, you'd think would have grown up by now, but it's just got
No,
even worse in the
yeah, it's getting
the
worse. Yeah,
last
yeah.
especially in the last 10
We,
years.
we
It's
we've been
just
kidding
ridiculous.
ourselves. We've been kidding ourselves that the world's a better place in the sense of we're more educated and intelligent and so forth. No, I think that technology has allowed the focus of extreme groups to come together. I mean, for God's sake, if all the milk bottle top collectors can get together, certainly all the right-wing fascists can get together too. And it affects us in terms, as COVID did, music. We can't play. We're not allowed to play. We're not this, that, and the other. And I think that would have had a knock-on effect on the H band as well, or any plans that Steve would have had, because he doesn't have much time. As Dal said, he works really hard, and the band. I know, I've seen them at work and in motion, and that's what attracted me right from the start when I first met H, and he invited me down to London, and the band were recording. It wasn't Aylesbury I first went to see them. It was in London at either Britannia. No, it wasn't Britannia. It was one of there were two recording studios that they were recording some of those early Marillion albums. Not early as in Fish early. I mean H early albums, and I met Rothers for the first time, and I already knew Ian Mosley because I was secretly a big Gordon Giltrap fan.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then Gordon Giltrap live, I was like, this is a great drummer. And it was the Reverend Ian Mosley on drums. So I already knew. I mean, I'm more attracted to drums than I am guitar, to tell you the truth. Rhythms for me mean more. And that's why, Dal, we're lifetime, band partners, because I love the science and the art of rhythm. And I've been privileged to have worked with great drummers from, Gavin Harrison to Marco Miniman to not down to, but across to a different genre of music, like the late Clem Burke, Steve White, even Mahavishnu Orchestra's Billy Cobham.
Oh, wow.
And then obviously Yukihiro Takahashi, the late Yukihiro Takahashi, and many other drummers, from in the indie scene, obviously Rennie and Mike Joyce from the Smiths and so forth. And so I've had a good baptism of rhythm, shall we say, or rhythm. I mean, I come out of, as Dal mentioned, that the music that we come from. I'm a guitarist first and foremost, so obviously I come from guitar music, but the earliest bands that I was in was reggae bands. So I spent 10, 15 years. My heroes were like Sly and Robbie and, Roots Radix, the rhythm section, anything that, like Sly and Robbie were doing and off projects, but it was a foundation of rhythm, I think. That was where I came from. My brother plays guitar, and when we were young, he always used to say to me, "You're not good enough. You play the bass." So I started off as a bass player in a sense, yeah. And my brother would play, and then when he could play lead guitar, I was promoted to rhythm guitar. So basically, I'm grounded in rhythm first and foremost. I can't read or write music, but I can compose for orchestra. I can write with anyone. Well, I call that council estate arrogance. I don't care. As long as you secure the job, at the end of the day, or the work, that's what's important. And I think, the rhythm aspect of my life has guided me through music, and I've met people. When I met Marillion, obviously, like I was saying, Ian Mosley was like, wow, that's Ian Mosley. And I can remember his chops on Gordon Giltrap live. And but I think one of my closest friends or people that I respect the most is, as well as H, is Richard Barbieri. The
Yeah.
fact when he introduced me to Richard, it was like, how can I put this? It's because he's like the Dark Lord. He's like the Dark Prince. Yeah,
He's the Darth Vader, man. Darth
he's
Vader
the
with the
Darth
keys,
Vader.
man.
Yeah, but in the same sense, that's how I like to play.
Yeah.
And it was the meeting of almost like Lord of the Rings or something, and you got Saruman on one side, and
Can I bounce it off what Az just, because you know what? Whilst Az was just going to mention, I was thinking of Richard as well, and you know, such a beautiful thing is to actually witness this man live when he's doing his thing. He is absolutely, like I said, like Darth Vader, and as like I said, the Darth
genius. Yeah,
he's a genius. I was like, you know, I never saw him even touch anything. You know, it's like he couldn't
Where's
see
it coming
anything
from?
because you don't know what this magician is doing. And you're like, you know, like, wow, this. I was like, oh my goodness me. And I love, you know, I love his solo work as well, like Richard does, because Richard gave me an EP when we were on tour. He gave me an EP. He worked with a Japanese producer. I can't remember his name now, and I don't want to get it wrong, but there was one track on there, man. It was all about loops. And I really got into those ambient loops because of Richard and listening to like boards, the kind of those atmospheric things. At least I thought this guy, man, is just on another level.
I mean, the first mistake I ever made was calling Richard a keyboard player, and he absolutely lost it with me. He says, "I don't play keyboards, I play synthesizers."
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, okay. No, but no, he told me straight, you know, and I understand that now, not just now, but then and every, you know, day that followed, I understood exactly what he meant. And it was actually Richard, you see, he introduced me to Mick Karn and Steve Jansen and Yukihiro Takahashi. And it was like, he kind of, and obviously he introduced me to, well, he asked me to play on the JBK album or EP initially, and then that led to working with Yukihiro Takahashi, the late Yukihiro Takahashi from Yellow Magic Orchestra. And he introduced me to another world, really. I mean, I played prog before, obviously from my history, you know, I was in Asia when I was doing Asia Arena, the Rodney Matthews cover album. But he actually put me to work, shall we say, collaborating with elite artists. And then Stephen Wilson, you know, obviously introduced me to Steve Hackett and Robert Fripp. I'd met Robert Fripp once before, but that's another story. But that's but he actually introduced me into that world of collaborating and being treated as an equal. Not that I've ever looked at myself as anything, but it was nice coming from him. But it's been a fascinating journey. That part for me has been absolutely fascinating because he really woke me up. I mean, I kind of knew, you know, what he was using. You know, we had his Prophet Fives, and then he was evolving into various instruments and other things as well. But it was the way that he did it. It was so musical without almost never playing a chord. Or a progression you recognized as being a chord or something. And
he's a master.
And I thought that this is absolute kind of creation. To me, it was soundscaping. It was about the fact that I looked at music too much in terms of its musicality, when really I should have looked at it as the creation of sound, what sound actually is, and how dissonance plays such an important role in sound, not necessarily just music. And
well, thanks, us.
The effects. The dissonance.
Thank you. That's exactly the point, isn't it? Like the Indian classical music side as well. Look at the influences of that, you know, in British music. You know, it's like, you know, the collaborations that happen, you know, but they're certain and particular, aren't they? They're, you know, and when it's not like you could put that together. This is, like I said before, it's camaraderie. that's what it's about. And actually, H would come and support us at our gigs. As he would travel, and come and go, where are you playing next? He'd just turn up, and goes,
been a couple,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's been absolutely like, supportive till forever, and that's why, like, that's why you feel that, love with H,
I mean,
and through H with the band.
Yeah, the other side of it is that, like you said, I mean, obviously I knew Marillion, and I knew about the music, whereas it wasn't your kind of journey, was it, Dal?
Yeah.
But even when we were doing the H band, what was interesting was that, he introduced like 3 Minute Boy into the set, and this is the 21st century, and it was kind of, that was interesting, to analyze the Marillion songs, to break them down. I mean, I love Rodgers playing, and when I at first, because I only ever saw him on Top of the Pops probably, and and I won't even name the song because it gets bandied around too much. As far as I'm concerned, there's been such great songs that have followed it, but just hearing the uniqueness of each individual person in that band, and I didn't realize what a multi-instrumentalist Pete Travis is.
Apparently, Pete can play anything. Apparently,
anything. He sing. He sing like it's like that little advert. And I said, "Let's go for a swim." I said, "Just not my." Sorry, I'm going really back in time. There's no commercial, but he's absolutely multi-talented artist and great voice and singer, and he's so kind of unassuming. That's the thing about Pete. But
he's like water, just fills any space, man. Like anything you put him into, he just takes shape of it. That's what Pete I found.
All Bruce Lee on us now.
Easy.
Take a cup and you'll fill it with water, and the water takes the shape of
he takes the shape. He takes the shape. He was he loved that tour as well. I really enjoyed my time.
Yeah, Holland was a blast, wasn't it? Netherlands.
Man.
Yeah, those
they were the
in
best.
Netherlands.
Yeah, they were the absolutely best times. Best times.
I remember his H and Andy G with their glasses of red wine.
Yeah,
tottering about with their little glasses and their fingers, little pinkies raised as they.
We played the Paradiso in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah,
I remember that was a brilliant gig as well. It was packed. What a venue that is, right in the heart of Dam. And we played, and afterwards, Andy and I went into about 3 takeaways and ordered chips. So he goes, Dal, we've got to get chips and mayonnaise, man. Because you can't have the chips without the mayonnaise. And we went, and because we were in Amsterdam, obviously we went in and forgot what we'd ordered and walked back out again, but I remember it because we came back with nothing after ordering and probably paying for it and not eating anything. So I had the best time with the band there. And we went shopping. When we were in Utrecht, I went with Richard.
Sounds like the worst time. Sounds like the worst time, man. You went in the takeaway and came out with nothing.
Yeah, I know. But I look back at it. But what we went to, when we went to Utrecht as well, when we were there, we went with Richard into this vintage shop that sold old, synths and key, like the Rhodes and all beautiful things. And I was like looking at the prices, I said to Richard, how much did he go? It's about, about $4,000. I went, $4,000? It's about, I was like, this is, man, it's super expensive. So I was thinking, like, this guy, man, I bet his gear is worth way more than that. But he was just like, in the shop, and I was like watching him, and, he could have walked out with anything and everything there. And that guy who owned the shop wouldn't have even noticed. Because that's how cool he is.
Yeah. I get the impression that the trust that you've got in these bands gives you the freedom to just do your thing, doesn't it?
As we were saying as well, wasn't he? Like, he gave everybody in the recording space. I mean, for me to get space, how many tracks do you hear where a double will get, like full cycles, and then there's, every musician that everybody who was great, got a place and space to play. That, man, was beautiful. So it was like a celebration, man. He was on form. Everybody was on form, and it was
It
very
was.
new for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Respectful. There
beautiful
was
time.
respect all the way around. Everyone did have respect. I mean, like I said, I looked at it as a band, so I won't hear anybody badmouth or I don't want to do anything unless everybody's involved for a
Yeah, yeah.
start.
I mean, you keep you regularly post on the Facebook H band page as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I try to keep that interest there. Try to keep people, I, I don't know about informed, but it's never over until it's over. That's what I've learned in life. There's too
Yeah.
much going on in life. Life's too short. And there's a cliche goes, but it's so true. And the older you get, the more you realize that. And I just kind of I want to keep that interest going because there might be opportunities when we can do things, even if if the band doesn't come back together because of people's commitments and life in general, then there's still projects that can happen, collaborations and things, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Since I've released this album, Law to Longsight and Planned, I booked a tour October,
Going to say you're
November.
out on tour, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I've had to keep those dates kind of limited to the major cities and towns. You kind of London, Birmingham's, and your whatnots, and
Well, you go
Manchester.
into a friend of ours runs the Artisan Tap in Stoke, and I know you're going
And
there.
yeah.
Scott's got you going there, haven't they?
Yeah, he did mention it to me because I think he has a Marillion H band kind of affinities, shall we say?
We went across to see him a couple of weeks ago and to see
Right.
a Marillion tribute there, and we were chatting about you, and he said he'd chat to you again. But yeah,
Yeah, so it was great the fact that I had his ear and he was able to give us a show that I could fit into this tour. Mr. Singh here will be appearing in Birmingham, hopefully doing his thing as a special guest, special needs guest. But that tour it was hard to get together. I had 20 dates, but. I'm busy, but it kind of lit a fire under my gluteus, shall we say. And all I want to do now is work and write and collaborate and get my shit together. I've got material ready for different people, artists that I've always wanted to. I've been asking me for such a long time. H used to ask me ages ago about, music and songs and so forth. And they were like missed opportunities. And the last thing I want to do is cry about missed opportunities, but I want to create new opportunities because writing is where it's at for me.
Here, bravo.
It's all well,
Bravo.
it's all well and good doing music that somebody else has written, but that doesn't satisfy my needs really.
And that's what I learned from you lot, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're now writing music here as well with the Tabla Jedis and the band. And as you've supported it for years, like from the start of it, any projects that happened as well here and abroad, you've always been there, and this is the thing, though, that love is through the music, and gives you the confidence to write music and gives you the fire to go and do it, write a song, if you like it, you like it, you don't like it, then you don't like it, simple as that. It's
jog on,
exactly,
as they say.
and that's the confidence as well, actually, that yourself, stepping up from the guitars and then stepping up to vocals and standing forward, like Steve as well. He's so versatile. He's amazing. His voice is like silk, man. But it's a bit rough silk because he can be really rough with it, and he's got this lushness about him, and he's got a real subtlety. And I love that when I hear him, and it's him. It's actually him. It's his nature coming through, just his voice, and he works very hard at it. Protects it, and yeah. But I love that, man. It gave me the kind of goal to do it. To write songs and write melodies as well. Because if you're around the best and you don't learn anything, man, what's the fucking point? You're gonna, you're around the best, and yeah, you've been thrown into it, and you just keep quiet and you soak it up, man, like a sponge. because it's beautiful. That nectar is amazing, you know, that you're going to get. And I remember lots of moments from that whole, those, it wasn't one tour, I think it was a few tours that we did with H, you know, around Spain, Germany, Italy. You know, we traveled so much. And I love that about Steve as well. You know, we were always, like I said, treated like equals, not like Ramlal. Like, you know, you're the support band, you're going to open up for us, you're this, you know, you're not going to stay here, this, that. Man, you know, H never, ever, you know, he put us on, like, you know, he's just put us in those. That's why he lives in our hearts, really.
Yeah.
Steve does.
Didn't you and Richard do sort of an improv thing at the beginning of one of the sets? Didn't you kind of lead it all in?
Yeah, I mean, that was H's idea. But you just, yeah, like I said, you know, my connection with Richard is that music. I mean, I would say we come from quite different walks of life, and in fact, I felt that when I first came into the H band right at the beginning, you know, and musically as well. It's very hard for me to actually fit, even though I came out of Asia, you know, prog, and then came in, you know, obviously into the Stone Roses, but the Stone Roses changed me. It taught me about a certain identity and musicality that is required of an artist, a true artist, or an artist that establishes in its own identity, you know. So, and I had to break ties really musically, you know, with a lot of things that I believed in. You know, I tried to be the best musician I could, so practicing and so forth. And then I found that that's not actually where I wanted to be. That's not how I wanted to play. And when I kind of got back into through H, you know, the prog scene, I was kind of a bit of a loose cannon. Even at shows, you know, we were playing. I was the loose cannon, and H used to look around and say, "I can't believe I've got the guitarists from the Stone Roses that come and play this."
It's on the CD. It's on the CD. I can't believe I got the
guitar
from Stone Roses to play a 10cc.
And I was like, stood behind and going, "You're bleeding right, mate, especially with them pants you wear." But no, I mean, the one thing is that, you know, that as Daz mentioned, you know, H is a beautiful soul. He's a talented, beautiful soul. So I love being around people like that. It doesn't matter where we come from and what we wear and how we dress and how we speak and how much money we've got or what we've achieved. But that does matter to me. You know, that I can forgive a lot of things, and vice versa. People, I hope, will forgive my rough edges, you know, when they work with me. But
mate, on stage, there aren't rough edges.
No, I think that's more due to the company that I keep. You
well,
know,
you say that, mate.
Well, I do.
You're
because
amazing.
I know.
You're amazing.
You know, the last gig I did with Ian Brown, I smashed my guitar over somebody's head, so that wasn't quite, you know, the H band.
Yeah, true.
And well, I got to say, you know, we lost in the World Cup that day, Portsmouth, and we were in Portsmouth, and they all missed the last ferry back for the Isle of Wight because we wasted an hour and a half trying to tell the venue that we weren't going to go on because the monitors were shit, and they better go and change them and go and find them right now. So there was all this prima donna shit going on at the time. But I mean, that was the kind of
man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Though I'm going to bounce off your ass because that, you know what, that arrogance, man. I'm telling you, man, guitarists, right? This is the thing, you know, the best that they are, right? They got that arrogance, they got that swag, haven't they? The swagger. And that's it. But as you had that split, no, but Az had that because, you know, Az was never brought up like Az's family. I know Az's family.
Yeah,
you know,
they're not
this
like
is
me.
a background. they're not, you know, they're like, you know, like, but you have a switch, you have a split life though, don't you? This is what I love about music when you go into different territories. I love it, you know, when you're playing Indian classical music and you're in this other zone, and then you're in this, like, you know, like we just played the a remembrance show for Manny, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, and you know, 6,000 people there, and it was a real honor as well, and a real humbling, man, experience, because everybody, like you talk about, like, you know, bands getting together with egos and things like that, and everybody's there for the love of the man, you know. So this is what I was saying. It's like, you know, like I says, it doesn't matter where you come from or what it is, you know, there's that real mutual love and respect, I think, amongst everybody. And that's why H-Band is still, man, like, I would love for the crew, man, to get back together. ASAP. I say it ASAP, man. Do it quick. You know, let's go put a tour together. Let's go out and let's go and play, you know, because I'm telling you, after 20 years, people need that. That music is still fresh today. You play that whole thing rather than doing anything, you do it again. I'm telling you, it just stands tall. Absolutely
it
does.
does.
You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
the best thing about that band, for me, well, not the best thing, but you know, the idiosyncratic kind of nature of the band was also due to the fact that it was H's idea was to bring in the cello, you know, Stephanie Sober Jones, and she's a fantastic player. But the fact that he kind of merged those worlds together in a way that not a lot of bands can do it, you know, especially with just one instrument. You know, I've seen other bands work, and it works in a certain way, but not like this. This was like instrumental. It was integral to everything. Without it, it wasn't a H band. I often thought about it. You see, you know, what made the H band? What was the sounds of it? What was the character of it? We've had various drummers. We've had various bass players. You know, and it's kind of the essence of it has always stayed there. Stephanie's always had that role in it, which has brought everybody together. I think people underestimate Stephanie because she's unassuming, and the instrument, you know, also it can be, but when it's played well, you know, it's to me, it's one of the greatest classical instruments out there. You know, and my favorite piece is the Bach cello suite. You know, but that's just because I'm a Neanderthal, you know, from Council Estate in Manchester. But I love beauty, you know, true beauty. For me, it gives me inspiration. I aspire to escape the confines of a lot of things around me. And that's, I think that's the beauty of the H band for me. I can forget a lot of things that drag me down, but to see great talent and great characters and spirits and personality. I love the title, you know, I love the fact that, you know, the live body, live spirit, you know, I think that it actually means a lot to me. I don't tell my mates, but hopefully they won't be listening to this podcast. But it was definitely, you know, to me, it does mean something. I'm not a person that uses the word spirit a lot, spirituality a lot, but I know what I feel. And the H band is that, and that's what makes it so kind of, I don't want to say that I regret, because I don't believe in regrets really, but there is something about it, because there is a beautiful spirit in this group when people come together that, you know, no other band touches. I'm sorry to say, not even Marillion touches.
No, I mean, they were legendary nights. The gigs that we saw, absolutely legendary. I'm sure
for those that know
as well.
So true, so true. Even when I heard, like, when Steve sent me the tracks, because he played them to me in the car, when we were going, and just the sound, I go, I couldn't remember anything we'd done. You know, it's been that long. And I said, did we actually bloody do this? It was just, I said, it was a really, like, you know, tingly, uplifting feeling that I had, you know, and I was like, you know what a privilege to be a part of this, man, you know, and when all things going on, man, you know, loads of things happen, you know, in people's lives, and they're doing their thing, you know, and even in Birmingham here, you know, just to get like Tabla into mainstream schools, getting it to the CBSO, into the conservatoire, you know, because when I was treated as an equal, even though I was humbled by them, because their experiences are beyond, you know, they are, and it humbled me because I've spent years with my teacher, and I still am with him. That's why my relationships last so long. This is another thing. Bands split up really quick because of egos and whatever. But, you know, these things, you know, these journeys are very special, very, very special. And you want them to, you know, prolong for as long as they can. So I say, man, let's get the band together. let's do it. I'd love to do it, man. You know, but it's been like a journey, just getting everybody's busy in their own lives, and we can get together and make it happen. You know, just a show, just a show.
According to H, it's Dave Greggs that you've got to get out of the house, apparently.
Get out with his slippers and his
let's drive to Swansea.
That's not necessarily true. I mean, you know, you look at Marillion's schedule, and it's every year it's an album, and you know, they're so busy that they make themselves so busy. They're constantly touring. They're constantly recording. I think it's unfair to take it on, you know, Dave Greggs, who's
it doesn't. That's not in a negative way.
I mean, no, I didn't take it that way, but it's just that I've heard it a few times, and I just want to set the record straight. Leave my mate alone, because it's not his fault, and he's always got guitars in hand. He always wants to play. He's, you know, but that side, I think the main thing is that for me is the instrumentation in this group. As Dal's saying, it is a pity that we're not out on the road, because just the instrumentation is unique in this band. I mean, other bands have tabla, but it's not played by Dalbir, Singh, Rattan, you know, and other people have guitarists in the band, but the combination, the strange combination of, you know, XTC, Roses, Asia, whatever you want to call me, I don't know. I'd rather just be known as myself. But and then in the middle of it, you know, you got the Dark Lord there, you know, the Dark Prince, kind of throwing everybody off balance, and you know, we've never lacked for bass players. I mean, obviously it started with Chucho, and what an amazing guy, what an amazing character, what an amazing musician. Jingles came along, and what another amazing guy, character, musician, and what a voice. And I heard
amazing.
I used to listen to Jingles play, and I'm always, I can't help it, I've got an analytical mind, so I'm always watching fingers, I'm watching performance, I'm watching the musicality, what chords are in there, the progressions, the timing, everything. And I don't know if anyone's heard it, but Jingles has got such an advanced mind in music. He really has got a musical talent that goes way beyond his bass. And it was kind of fantastic progression when Chucho had left, and Jingles had come in, and even when Pete came in, obviously that was another curveball. But the musicality is second to none in this group, and that's what's a pity, that why it's not out on the road. Because I mean, I went to see Beat the other day, and because obviously due to H, you know, giving me a call, and I know I haven't seen him in such a long time, and I haven't seen his kids in such a long time. So I had to go regardless of whether I was, you know, wanted to go drive to Wolverhampton. But Civic, you know, Hall is since it's been refurbed, what a fantastic venue.
Amazing venue. Yeah.
Beautiful venue. But the music, I was listening to the music and I thought, this is incredible. I've got two of the world's greatest guitarists on there, Adrian Belew and Steve Vai. And I thought, will they be able to come together? But they're so professional, they're elite level. They pulled it together. And I think it was Danny on the drums and Tony Levin. I'm not, you know, familiar with Tool. I know some tracks of theirs, you know, the big tracks from Tool, but I don't know the individual musicians apart from the D-tune baritone guitarist. And but I was listening to them play together, and they didn't have that thing that H band has, that camaraderie. They didn't have that creation of music through the chemistry between the artist and the musician. But H band goes through so many levels. You know, it has the subtleties that H band has, because we have a classical musician, or two classical musicians, sorry, you know, and it can go to the most subtlest of levels, and then it can be the darkest, heaviest, nastiest, you know, watch out, Pantera, Nine Inch Nails, Meshuggah, whoever you are, you know, it can go there. If it wants
Death Star.
As much as Steve Wilson might do that, you know, the H band can go even darker.
Further.
We have the Dark Prince, you know. And then, we also have other things in our arsenal which
Exactly.
can absolutely, you just don't know what's going to happen with H1.
No,
I think
no. I
that's
mean,
what
the reissue that's coming out at the end of July, it sounds amazing. Some of the stuff that our friend James has done some work on it with H, but this live set, and I think the Paradiso videos on there, I think.
right.
Okay.
So there's lots of, great stuff. If the band never gets back together, which I hope isn't the case, there's that's going to be there as sort of a testament to what you guys did.
Nice. Oh, that's wonderful. That's
Yeah,
I mean, we were lucky enough to have seen like all the different like variants of the H band over the years. Back from the original and Dingwalls to the Union Chapel gigs and the
Oh,
different
yes.
Dingwalls ones
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. So, and it's funny because it's become quite legendary in Marillion fandom because a lot of people just wish they'd actually got to see it, and we were lucky because we were there through all the
I've-
different ones. So
You
it's like-
just reminded me at the Union Chapel gig, I had all these candles around me. And one of my covers of my tableau covers was on it. And Andy Gangadine was looking at me, and I thought we were like looking at him. He's actually saying to me, Your tableau
On
cover's
fire."
on fire.
And you
I
said, cheers,
remember
mate.
that
Oh,
gig, and it was
thanks,
like,
mate.
I was like,
Glad you like me
I said,
playing.
"Wait, mate, listen, I'm glad you got me back, mate." And it was just absolutely, it literally caught, and it could have actually set the whole place on fire, to be honest. All tablets went on fire, and then the whole gig got cancelled. But that would have been, I remember that Union Chapel gig. What a beautiful venue that is as well.
Great. isn't it?
Very
Brilliant.
beautiful
Yeah,
venue.
brilliant.
I remember it. The
Yeah,
sound.
that was one of the standout gigs. I mean, they all, as you said, they all were. Each of them had moments. Even when we were abroad, there were great moments in Italy and Spain.
Hey, Az, do you remember Dave Gregory? Dave Gregory's meticulous, man. To the, and what was it? Was it Let Emily, is it Emily? It was
Let
like,
Emily play.
See Emily play.
yeah, see Emily play. But in that part, there was, I don't know, it was like these parts, and it changes tempo in it. He was like so like to the tempo, wasn't he? It is like absolutely,
Yeah.
man.
He knows all those like little moments that happen.
Yeah.
In early
He's a
Sid
beautiful
Barrett,
player,
Sid
and
Barrett
it's such a
songs.
beautiful man. Dave Gregory is.
Yeah.
He
But
is
then
such a-
I mean, but then he's worked with a lot of them as well. He's done stuff with Peter Gabriel. He's done stuff with. He's done quite a lot of work. But he is, he is OCD about stuff. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
Who am I to talk? We all are in our own respects. That's what makes the person.
But two guitarists playing, and you know how we complimented Zen and now Marassi. We played Marassi.
Well, I
when we
mean, I
did that
suppose
as well.
that was the hard part, was finding, for me anyway, it was finding a place for myself, because the album had been written.
Yeah.
Ice Cream Genius already had been written. Now, there's already a guitar on there, so it's a place where I don't like to be, where I'm playing somebody else's guitar parts. In all honesty, what's that to me? I mean, it's a bit of fun. But fortunately, all the guitar parts were fantastic. They were creative guitar parts. But it was the same situation in the Stephen Wilson band. I was playing Steve Hackett's parts, or I was playing Robert Fripp's parts. And amazing as they were, I don't get off on that because
No.
I want to be.
Because it was 21 beat cycle, bro.
Yeah, there was that. But the actual guitar parts, I didn't want to play them. Wanted to play my own parts.
Exactly.
But what I ended up doing was I started creating my parts within it, looking for certain angles I could, and put my own embellishment to. Not too much, because I'm just aware of that kind of thing, because it probably came from the Roses days. When I stepped foot onto like a Reading Festival, and there was 80,000 people there, all wanting to hear note for note Stone Roses songs, the way they were off the album. So, and I don't blame them for that, because if somebody comes, to a Marillion show, I'm sure they want to hear. Well, actually, maybe that's not true. Maybe in prog, we don't mind the kind of tangents that songs can go off. It makes it interesting, maybe. but certainly in the genres that I'm coming out of, you know, they want to hear it as it is, or as is, if you excuse the pun. But, with the H band, I had to find my place really, where I could be myself and be comfortable. And again, that's kudos to H really and the rest of the guys, that they were accepting of that. And he says he's finding his feet. We don't mind. I mean, H said that to me before the band started. You know, he says, "Look, I want you." I said, "What am I going to come and do with you? But you've already got a guitarist, and he's a great player, and you know." And what am I going to do? And he goes, "Well, just be you. You play what I just heard. He heard me play, and he was kind of like, just be you and find your own role within. I've got the patience. You'll find your role." And I think myself and Dal, when we've just found our role within the music, especially from Ice Cream Genius, where we're not actually on the album, we just found a way of fitting into it. But then it matured anyway, because, you know, we were doing song covers as well in there, you know, for God's sake, we were throwing in 10cc songs. And I don't mind the Peter Green and whatever.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, the live version of Nothing to Declare, it's a completely different beast from the album.
It's an anthem.
It's
an anthem.
Amazing.
But, you know, for me, there's a lot of songs. I mean, obviously the songs that I know, like Green Manalishi, is... I've got a Green Manalishi guitar here somewhere as well. So,
All Things Must Pass, I thought as well.
Yeah.
You know, that H, when he covers his song, he owns it. You know, he makes it his own as well. This is what I love, man.
Great choices,
about everybody. He picks the right tunes and he just makes them. I know he's not written this, but he just owns it in his own way and style and feel. I love
and I think that's why we play what we play, because they are a lot of them are his tastes and choices, and sometimes there's an overlap. You know, like All Things Must Pass, that's an overlap for me. You know, Green Manalishi, that's an overlap for me. I can't say that, you know, everything is an overlap for me, because, you know, I've been at Marillion shows and and I told H, man, how come you guys got to play like 20 minutes of a ballad, you know, drag out them tunes, sending me to sleep, man. But they take them in the right way. They know I'm only messing and jesting with them. I'm going on about the things within prog that make prog.
Yeah.
You know, we still do them. People still buy tickets, still love those moments. So
I lap it up, mate. Yeah.
And now we're seated. So
yeah, we're all of an age now. Yeah.
Bring on the 20 minutes, 20-minute song. We're seated now anyway. I was seated at the Civic Hall, so, you know, for that Wolves gig for Beat, which was enjoyable actually. You know, being able to focus on everything without having somebody's head right in front of you.
Yeah, trying to get a spot.
I was just going to say one more thing as well, was about being at the Racket Club, you know, and seeing the setup of Marillion. This was like, you know, I'd never seen it. I don't know, like now we can see like what's happening, but, you know, the band and the way it all kind of was there when I was, recording and just seeing like, you know, these different areas, and, you know, as the CDs are going out, there's distribution, the team working, the fan following and the loyalty from the fans. I've never seen any other band. I don't think there's any band that has that kind of following and that longevity, man. You know, that's just my opinion. You know,
well, you're right. You're right. They're unique, aren't they? I mean,
absolutely.
That's what attracted me to them.
They're one of the kind, and when they love you and you sit in their hearts, you're there forever. You know, and I think this is the most beautiful family to be a part of. You know, and what a beautiful band. You know, and you know, for them doing it, you know, after years, like as I was saying, like not mentioning the tune, but you know, people just refer. You know, I was speaking to people in my local pub, man. I was saying, look, you know, we're going to do a Marillion podcast. You know, what you go, what Marillion? I went, yeah. Marillion, and I said, yeah, actually Marillion. And they were like going and they started talking about, and you're not going to believe it, man. What was the tune that came up literally as I said it? So this is manifestation. What was it? Sky? Was it? What was it, man? I can't remember now. I don't want to leave the
Sky Above the Rain.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
come on the
Classic.
thing, and I was looking at it, and I was going like, all right, that's you there, and they were laughing. I said, look at that, man, that's got to be a sound, hasn't it? You know. So yeah, but it's just been amazing to be a part of the family of Marillion and the fans, man. You know what you guys do.
The funny
Yeah.
thing is that we have actually, when I think about it, we've grown with all the Marillion albums because, you know, we've been in touch with H all the way through every single album that's come out since we met him in '97. So I don't know prior to that, but '98 for me anyway, you know, that it as each album came out, I kind of knew I would hear it from obviously the horse's mouth about the, you know, the stress of it, the passion of it, and so forth, everything that was going on, and this album would come out, and then and it was also, I mean, talking about Marillion, you know, H band aside, that you know, give credit where credit's due, that these are super intelligent human beings that worked together. That's what I saw, what I learned, because, you know, to get yourself into the Guinness Book of Records, to get to start to be the pioneers of crowdfunding, and to Kickstarter and so forth. All these bands in the world, you know, they need to bow down to Marillion, really,
100%.
and give them the credit where credit's due, because without them, this would have not. Well, I mean, it would, but maybe it happened later on. But what I'm saying is that they instigated it and pioneered it, which has helped. It's like Michael Jordan in sports. If Michael Jordan hadn't drawn a contract with Nike to give the athlete part ownership of the products in its profits, then athletes afterwards would never have profited the way they do, you know. And in the same way, artists and bands would never have their business structure if it wasn't for Marillion's business structure and the way that they
Totally.
the racket club and the way they create the label, the management, that each member of the band has a role in business, and they take care of it. And it all works, but you know, there's more to it than just the musicality, you know, the music of Marillion.
Absolutely.
And that's what I saw. You know, my comments aside, because, you know, I'm a cheeky man, and I will say what I feel like, and even if it rubs people the wrong way, which, you know, sometimes, you know, I have curbed my tongue, but respect where respect's due, you know, and love where love is due, because there's not just me, but so many people that owe so much to Marillion for the work they've done and are still doing. So the H band, yeah, it does. Obviously, it takes a second place to Marillion for H. I don't know what place, but, you know, he knows that the love's there from every member, every artist that is either still in or is doing their own thing or whatever. It's there. And I think coming back to the Facebook page, that's probably one of the reasons why I started that, was to make H feel that the love's there, the support is still there, the fans are still there. People want to hear the H band, and the H band want to see H and play. Whenever that may be, the door's open from us. So that's what the purpose of the Facebook group page, and I encourage people to join that group page, because it would, who knows, your numbers might encourage H. In fact, that's a very good point, and I think it's important to stress this, that I've started this group page, H band. Now, if the numbers are large enough on H band, that is encouraging to the artist to take a chance, because he knows he can cover the overheads. One of the biggest problems for the H band has been you're talking about some apart from myself, some very high caliber artists who are used to high wages, and it costs a lot to put a band out, especially without a record label and a management company and publishing and so forth. And the H band has that issue to deal with. For that band to succeed, or for it to maybe come to fruition again, I think it's about the numbers. I think it's about that H-band group page needs to be growing, 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 and the demanding from H. And then you might actually see something, because actions speak louder than words. We can talk about the H-band forever. We have been doing every year, oh, we should do this, oh, let's do it. But it's always the fans that make things happen. And that's what Marillion's taught me. The fans can make the H-band happen, but you got to show the numbers, you got to show the support, you got to show the trust. Maybe we need to start, do a Kickstarter, a fundraiser, Patreon.
This is a call to arms, listeners. Get yourself on the Facebook
I think
page.
so. I think you're here with, you, John, and you, Craig. That's that this is a call to arms, and it takes a movement, doesn't it? A movement to make things happen, and actions. Words. So
exactly.
And I think with the Ice Cream Genius Deluxe coming out, and with all the extra material and everything on there, I do think it's going to be a bit of a lighting the flame.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Definitely. Well, look, it's been great talking to you tonight, guys. Aziz, you've got the tour coming up.
Hold on a second before we go anywhere. Before we go anywhere.
There's somebody joining us.
There's I think we've got an interloper who's let's see if technology works, because obviously
you can remotely add that guest. He's on an iPhone, or she is on an iPhone, but then audio is muted.
Yeah.
People in technology.
It's a big build-up, Craig.
It's a big build-up.
We have a remote call coming in all the way from.
all the way from, if his technology works.
Somebody on an iPhone. Who do I know that's on an iPhone?
There he is.
Oh, was I not there?
We are.
Hello.
Well, hurry up, because I'm watching the footy.
What's the score?
0-0.
0-0. We've not missed anything yet. Mr. H has joined us, listeners.
Hail. It's love, Steve.
Mr. Singh Rattan, how are
Hello,
we?
sir. I'm very well after seeing you.
Rattan that is
How you
sings.
doing, man?
The Rattan that sings, yeah.
Well, considering France are the favourites, they're not doing very well against Senegal, man.
They're not.
dear.
Well,
slow going.
They should know better because they colonised it. You know what I mean? so they're just getting their back after all those slavery years, aren't they? They're going to give them a good running.
They're all doing it. They're all doing
Exactly.
it. All the African
India
teams
with
are doing
cricket.
it. Yeah.
How are you, Steve? How are you, my bro?
Very well,
good?
man. Yeah, I'm good. We've been rehearsing today because we're going on tour soon.
Yeah.
That's coming together slowly but surely.
You're playing Pompeii.
Oh, we are. Yeah,
Really?
we are, man. 2 nights. On the back end of July. Hang on, I've just got to see if anyone's scored. Oh no, they haven't. This is love. This interrupting the World Cup for you.
Yeah.
That's so I'm boycotting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've just had an hour of discussing the love for the H band.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a magical time. It was a magical time.
Thank you,
It's a shame more people didn't buy tickets to see it. But
well, we were just talking about that.
yeah, I think if we're to do it again, we should pre-sell it.
I agree.
Yeah.
And let's do that. Let's put that. Az has already put the call to arms.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's
that same point. The point that is that what we learned from all these years, and obviously your experience with your band. That's there's a way to approach something. You want to make something happen. Actions speak louder than words, and there's certain things that need to be in place for it to be comfortable, shall we say? I don't think anybody's looking to retire a millionaire. Well, who knows?
That'd be nice.
Oh, sorry. Should I say a marillionaire? Nobody's looking to retire. In that respect. But for things to happen like that, it costs. you know, especially with my £1 million fee, we need,
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And
Pay
that's,
your wages, mate. Yeah.
yeah, that's Stephanie Soby Jones. She won't get out of bed for less than 10 grand.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
But you know what's lovely is actually it's just brought everything back to light, man. You know, after all those beautiful times with the band, with you, with Az, Andy, Jingles, you know, Dave, you know, Richard, Stephanie. It was just, man, I learned so much. You know, thank you, Steve, for this. I'm really, you know, it changed my life, bro. You know, and that's it. And I always tell you that. And now, you know.
Well,
How much
it changed my wife. It changed my wife.
It did actually change my wife as well. But that's
probably,
another story,
I think
man.
it changed mine. We all have that in common. Still, as long as you can laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got to laugh.
Yeah. So what's the plan, H? What's going on, man?
Oh, I haven't come on here. So you look,
Francis got a penalty.
oh, France has got a penalty. Oh, shit.
Is that a mil?
Oh no.
Bloody French.
Oh,
that's torn it.
Let's see what happens.
No.
I can't see Mbappe missing a penalty. Can you?
No.
No.
It's just explained.
Okay.
The player had initiated the contact.
Oh,
Okay.
hang on.
Have they just allowed it?
It's not. He's just allowed it, hasn't he? Oh.
Huh?
Just see that line. Suddenly go get on with the restart. But what happens?
Nothing. Oh, he's disallowed it.
Disallowed the penalty, yeah.
Oh my God.
Senegal are still hanging in there.
It's all changed. It's all changed. I mean, the Northwest African teams and the African teams.
Yeah.
You know, good on them. Good on them.
Yeah.
Strong sides. Yeah. Strong sides.
I feel like, you know, you're at. It's like what year was the Olympics when Hitler went?
36.
Was that 36?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that. I just want every African team to knock out every European.
Knock everybody else out, yeah.
So well, just the way they've been treated. You know, I'm always going to root for the underdog, I suppose. But anyway, football aside, I'm a basketball nut, and we won the series. I'm a Knicks fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just won the series.
They did.
Nobody thought they were going to. The only game we lost was when Trump turned up. Game 3, and he turns up, and we lost. On a lighter note, yeah. Well, it's good of you to join us from the footy.
Well, I'm not staying long. I'm
all right.
I'm getting back to it. I just came here to wish you well.
Thank you.
And
did you?
These boys kept that quiet, man.
Keep sending the legal documents, and
yeah, let's.
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone. What's happened to this?
I haven't. Oh, he has.
No.
Dal's
disappeared.
We've lost the Birmingham contingent.
He's popped. He just went pop and vanished.
Yeah. Actually, you know something? I can ask you a question, Steve. Do you remember, or do you feel there was a favourite or the best show out of all the shows the H Band did? Was it right back to the 90? What was it? We started 97 or 98? I can't remember.
We did a few, didn't we? Oh, what would have...
The first gig was at the Walls. I remember that.
The first one at the Walls. Yeah, that's right. With Clem drumming.
Clem and Chucho on bass.
Yes. I don't know. What was that one we did in sort of Cologne, or was it Bonn? And there was hardly anybody there, and Andy was drumming, and that was a cracker. You know, in terms of how we played, that was really, really good. I'm just trying to think. That Paradiso show was great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we had a few technical problems right at the beginning.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But that was a cracker.
Dutch shows are always amazing, though, aren't they? I don't think we've had a bad Dutch show.
No,
I
don't-
can't think that we've ever.
no,
but
and
all of them.
that one at the Café de la Danse in Paris, where I had that big fallout with that girl afterwards.
I was just going to
in the dressing
mention
room.
the one in Paris. Yeah.
All those girls screaming at me for the wrong reasons, in the wrong
Not for
way.
the right reasons.
For the wrong reasons. That sounds like me. That. Yeah. Was that the venue that's burnt down, or was that the different Paris?
No,
venue?
that was the Elysée Montmartre, I think. Did that burn down? It was one of those.
One of
Was
those.
it
where
the
they used-
Elysée?
Yeah, it was like a prestigious old venue where they used to show they used to show martial arts movies there and stuff, and Bruce Lee and stuff, and it's a really old Parisian venue.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that. The one you're talking about, is that the one that was in the red light area or red light
Yes.
district?
Yes.
It was like a round kind of a.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 along that street.
Yeah.
I've done them all, I think.
The venues, that is.
I've also played music in them.
Yeah, it was a great place though. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was it. No, the Café de la Danse is down by the Bastille. So the other end of town, and it had that big brick wall
That's it.
behind us.
That's
and,
the one. Yeah.
I think Niall was up playing tabla with Dal.
Oh yes.
At one point.
He
When
loved the tabla, didn't he, Niall?
Yeah,
At that time.
he was about 6, I think, at that point.
Yeah, little Niall.
Yeah.
Not like now. But
Not
he's,
like now, no.
Not like now, Niall.
Well, look, I'm going to run. It looks like Dal's vanished.
He's reappearing.
He's trying to
Just
reappear, but it
reappearing.
looks like he's having bother.
He's muted, but he's
I'm in
appearing.
technical trouble.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Hear you, mate.
I
Yeah.
can hear your...
Check 1 2. I want to. Yes,
This-
I
this
am
everybody
live.
voice.
Sorry, guys. My phone ran out of battery. These iPhones, man, they're terrible amount of battery. They just run out. You know.
Well, yours is. Yeah.
Mine is dated.
Change your
It's a bit
battery.
Alcatel, actually. Yeah.
Change
Yeah,
your
but
battery. You're milking it
Steve-
too much.
So nice to see you, man. Lots of love. Lots of
And
love.
always is. I'll see you soon, eh?
See you soon.
All right.
Thanks,
Toodles,
H.
Pip.
Thanks,
Take care,
H.
mate.
Cheers,
Ta-ra.
H. Good night, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
How do I hang up? I don't know how to do it. Oh, leave.
A man leave it. Matt the red. There we go.
He does this all the time.
Yeah. Well, that was good.
Creeps in on your
Yeah, he's more than
interviews all
welcome.
the time.
He's
eh?
more than welcome.
I hate that.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Well, as I was saying before he appeared, thanks
Always
very much
good.
for tonight, boys. It's been great to chat to you. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you both. Thank
Oh,
you
you're
both.
welcome.
Put a
No,
link
anything.
on to the tour, Aziz, so the folks can
Yeah.
go on there and check your dates out.
That would be nice. I'd appreciate the support and the love from the H fans and the Marillion fans for these shows. I'm taking quite a risk, for somebody without a label per se, but I've just got I want closure on this album, you see.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. I can get on with my life and start
Do something
writing all that material that I was supposed to write,
Well,
I'll come and see you at the Clooney in Newcastle.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's a great venue.
So we did. I think me and Mark, one of my friends, we did come and see you years ago when you
Right.
played South Shields.
Oh, great place, man. Coach,
Yeah.
that's another great place that we've played a couple of times. Yeah. South Shields.
And I remember you taking the piss out of me and Mark because we had H band t-shirts on at the time.
I told you, I can't help it. It's in my blood. It's
Exactly, it's great for
It's the man in me. But yeah, South Shields. I mean, I'm still working up in South Shields. I'm teaching at a lot of the schools and colleges at South Shields, South Tyneside College.
Yeah.
Places like that, even in Walker as well, and
Newcastle,
places
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Newcastle and North Shields too. Don't leave the North Shielders out of there. Can't be all for the sand dancers, can it?
I'm a sand dancer, so I can't complain.
There's a lovely amphitheatre there, isn't there? in South.
Yes,
Is it
on the
Rothschild?
sea,
Is
on
it
the
on the
seafront.
great
No, it's on the
venue, yeah.
seafront. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
beautiful.
also, there's an agent. My old agent there. His name's Dave Smith. He's retired now. He lives in South Shields, and he used to bring fantastic artists up to South Shields. Always, you bring like Tommy Emmanuel up there. He'd bring Clive Carroll. He'd bring what's his name, David Remborn, and a few other loads of acoustic players. Like elite level acoustic players. He even brought what's his name from
Bobby
Focus.
Emmanuel.
No, he
Tom.
brought we did say, but
Yeah.
what's his name from Focus? He brought and the guitarist from Focus from Holland. Just shows what shit prog rock fans we are. We can't name.
I can't think of that. Yeah.
From the guitarist from Focus, he's a giant.
All the listeners are
Jan
shouting
Jan
now, aren't they?
Ackerman. Jan
Yes.
Ackerman. There you go. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a guy
yeah.
who knows his prog. Jan Ackerman. He brought Jan Ackerman to South Shields as well. And I remember this about Jan Ackerman. Now, sorry, I know you want to finish, but
No, you're right.
he
Carry on.
arrived in a van, a big van. I thought there was a horse in it. And he went around the back, went in the back of the van, and then came out on a Harley Davidson. And then he rode around the car park a couple of times and then drove right back into the back of the van again, locked it up, and then played an incredible set solo. It was an acoustic set he was playing, actually, but this is I cannot believe we're in this situation here. I never thought I'd be talking on a chat show and then having Steve Hogarth, the first, pop up in the conversation along with Mr. Rattan the second. Just this level of musicianship, I never see myself at that kind of level, but to be here and talking about these bands and to be part of it all and the journey, it's mind-blowing. And that's what my album is about. It's about journeys, about the fact that sometimes we come from almost, I won't call it nothing, but we come from my dad came from a little village in India. Would he have ever known that his son was going to be some rock and roll hooligan in Manchester, playing with this caliber of musicians? No, he would not have known. Otherwise, he'd never have come. He would have stayed in India. Even partition, he wouldn't even move to Pakistan. He would have stayed in India. I'm not coming out, he'd have said.
True.
And on that note, thanks for having us.
Hey, you've earned your place there, both of you. Incredible musicians.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Brilliant,
both.
brilliant to chat to you tonight.
Lots of love.
I hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, we loved it. Absolutely loved it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We just made those
Fantastic.
memories really fresh again. And thank you for doing that.
And the campaign starts here for the H Band reunion.
Yes, please. Let's get it on the road.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Great to
Take care.
speak to you. Well, that was good, wasn't it?
It really was. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah, and Mr. H tore himself away from the football as well. But we really want to thank Aziz and Dal for coming on and giving us the time and chatting so honestly about the H Band. As Aziz says, go to Facebook, join the H Band group on there, post on there. Let's get the ball rolling. We're all
buy the deluxe.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to the deluxe edition of Ice Cream Genius, and we will be back on to review that very shortly, I've no doubt. Won't we?
Yeah, it depends on whether we release this before or after. We'll see.
Okay. Anyway, all that remains to be said is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
And stay alive. Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot for all the good stuff.